Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm doing a spec challenge because my connection last night was so horrendous that I actually basically couldn't race online without causing too much carnage. So this one is a spec challenge on Lime Rock in the Audi S3, which is a one-lap shootout, which has kind of put me off before because it takes me a while to get into the groove and actually get up to pace. So it is quite a big challenge for me, but yeah, as challenges go, they're going to make you better as you do them. So I decided, let's give it a go and see how we can do. Got to at least get number one in Africa for sure. So taking a look at the assists I've used here, we haven't used any assists and we've got simulation steering on. Now the simulation steering is because it's all-wheel drive. For all-wheel drive and front-wheel drive you can get away with simulation steering and it can actually help you. Rear-wheel drive can be quite a bit more tricky, so I tend to avoid it for that. And in races I tend to avoid simulation anyway because I don't want to risk just spinning out or anything like that. So I've set JSR JDM as my ghost here. I'm close enough to the time that the number one is going to boost me along or pull me along, and it's something I would recommend you guys doing as well. So I'm really a big fan of Lime Rock, but I'm not very good at it. As you can see through the second turn there, I took a wide line thinking that's the better line, but it really isn't. And then through the third turn I've lost a hell of a lot of time as I didn't take it wide enough. And then going up the hill I've had a lot of understeer, almost gone straight on into the tire walls, and I've had to go down into third. And yeah, so you can see I've lost so much time just over those two turns to Razor. But there is my first run, so we're not expecting to do anything wondrous here. We're just expecting to get through it and see how things go. So I'm going to get on the curb there, and that is called sim twitch. That will happen with simulation steering, but I managed to hold it, and we're going to come across the line at a 105.6, which is pretty shoddy, but it was my first run and it was just outside the top 1000. So this is my second run. This session, these three runs you're going to see I did within the first 15 minutes of this whole thing, but my session was a lot longer than that just because things get incredibly frustrating, and we're going to see later on why that is so frustrating. And it's also sort of the faster you get, the more you start to push and the more you start to make errors, just because you're sort of on the limit most of the time. So you can see I'm a lot closer to Razor this time through this section, but I'm still losing a ton of time through the third turn. And now coming up to the uphill right-hander, I've gotten a lot better turn in there, and I've gotten a lot closer to the curb, so I've managed to carry up quite a bit more speed up the hill. Now this turn was definitely my nemesis corner. It's really difficult to get the turn in, and you do kind of have to go down to third, I think. And even though the change up to fourth after the corner is so soon, it seems better for the turn in. So we're going to come across the line here. We've saved a lot of time and taken 6/10 off almost, and that has put me 222nd, so not too bad for two runs. So now looking at my third run, I've had a good start here against Razor. You're going to see later on why that is such a point of interest. So I'm definitely a lot better through the first turn than I was through the first two runs, managing to almost stay with Razor, and I'm getting close to that tire wall on the inside, which is kind of what you want to do. I was just a bit late on the power, and I'm taking a different line through the second turn now, and it definitely seems a lot more fruitful to do that. And going through the right-hander, I'm a mile closer than I was last time. And coming up the right-hand uphill corner, I'm going to get on the curb, which fortunately isn't going to throw me wide, but just about kept it going and used all the road available almost. I'm now going through my nemesis corner. I've actually gotten that pretty good, and for the final turn you just stay in fourth, but I've been a bit too hesitant and not used all the roads, so not been as fast as I could, which means I'm going to lose time not just on that corner but all the way down to the final straight, or to the finish line. So I've taken quite a bit of time off there and gotten to 66th, which is number one in Africa, fortunately. So here are the frustrations. You get a period of about 4 or 5 starts where no matter what you do, your start is just hideous. So you've got to restart and just carry on restarting until your starts begin to get good again. And eventually your bad start is going to be so bad that by the time you've reached third gear, you have lost over a car length, which is a massive amount of time. and then eventually you do get the start that you wanted. So the next frustration here is that the game gets kind of confused if you set a fast enough time. So I'm here to restart after setting that third run of mine, and it's going to tell me that I've beaten Razor, which I mean I clearly haven't done, but there is a reason for that, which I'm going to explain now. Now the downside to this is that you lose your ghost once you've beaten your ghost, so you lose what is pulling you along and you lose your reference points, so you have to go all the way back to the menus and start again all the way from here, which just wastes a lot of time. So here's what happens: if your lap time is better than his total time, the game thinks you've beaten them even though you haven't, and that is the reason why you lose your ghost. So yeah guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you've done this one and what your time was. And yeah, my goal is this first page for this, so I should get there eventually, but I need to take a bit of a breather before I do that. So yeah guys, thanks for watching the video again. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.